ever looked around your house and thought, why does it still look messy even after I've cleaned? Or maybe you've spent hours organizing drawers and closets, only to find them cluttered again a week later. It's frustrating, isn't it? We all want a peaceful, tidy home, but somehow the mess always sneaks back in. The truth is, clutter isn't just about the mess we see, it's about the small things we keep. Just in case the half-empty bottles, old magazines, or worn-out items we think we might need someday. They quietly pile up until our homes feel heavier than we realize. In today's video, I'll share the exact methods and habits that helped me turn my chaotic spaces into calm, open areas by learning what to keep, what to let go of, and how to stop the clutter from returning. These aren't quick hacks, but real lessons I've tested and lived by. My home is now easier to clean, saves me time and money, and most importantly, it brings me peace every day. So stay with me till the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more simple decluttering tips that truly transform your space and your mind. Welcome to our first deep dive we're starting, where every day begins in the bathroom. Now let's talk about decluttering your most personal area. Simplifying your personal care space and beauty routine. There's something deeply refreshing about clearing out the small things, especially the items we use every single day but rarely pay attention to. I still remember one weekend when I decided to go through my vanity and bathroom drawers. What I thought would be a 5-minute cleanup turned into a surprisingly emotional process. There were half-used lotions from years ago, a cracked hairbrush I somehow felt too busy to replace, and lipsticks that had long dried out but I kept because I liked their packaging. As I laid everything out, I realized how much clutter we unconsciously hold onto in our personal care spaces. These are the areas we start and end each day in, yet they often become a chaotic mix of expired creams, tangled brushes, and forgotten samples. Cleaning them out isn't just about tidying, it's about reclaiming a sense of calm and control. Here's what I learned: if it's broken, expired, or you haven't used it in 6 months, it probably doesn't deserve space in your life. I tossed old makeup brushes that shed too much empty shampoo bottles and products whose labels had faded. The moment I cleared them, the countertop suddenly looked more spacious, and my daily routine felt lighter. Now I only keep what I truly use, the essentials that make me feel cared for and confident. My shelf has fewer items, but everything has a clear purpose. It's funny how something so simple can shift your mindset. When your space is neat, your thoughts are too. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the mess, start small. Focus on one drawer, one basket, or even just your makeup bag. Ask yourself, do I actually use this? Does it make my life better? If not, thank it for serving you and let it go. Whether you donate, recycle, or discard, remember, every item you release opens up a bit more peace and breathing room for yourself. And if you're ready to take decluttering to the next level, don't miss tomorrow's video. I'll challenge myself to clear out 120 items in just 1 hour, a fast, powerful reset that might inspire you to do the same. It's practical, motivating, and exactly what your home needs. Once your daily spaces start to breathe again, it's amazing how that clarity spreads. But sometimes the real clutter hides in unexpected places, the things we keep just in case. Let's take a closer look at those little extras we hold onto but never actually need. Next up, we're tackling a major hidden clutter source, the just-in-case items. Now let's talk about letting go of the things you keep just in case and other random utility items. It's funny how the smallest, most ordinary items can quietly build up into a mountain of clutter. One rainy afternoon, I opened my storage drawer and realized how many just-in-case things I had kept over the years: tangled chargers that didn't fit any of my current devices, faded towels I no longer used, empty boxes I thought I might reuse someday. Each item seemed harmless on its own, but together they filled corners of my home with unnecessary weight. I decided to tackle what I call the miscellaneous and fabric zone, a mix of random bits and worn textiles that often escape our notice. Old letters, a cracked vase, tangled cords, faded t-shirts, and half-broken decorations. They all carried little fragments of the past, but none added joy or function to my present life. As I sorted through them, I felt both nostalgic and liberated. Letting go wasn't easy at first, especially when a towel reminded me of an old trip or a note carried warm memories. But then I realized memories live in me, not in the clutter. One rule helped me stay focused. Every category needs a clear home: cables in one box, towels in another, papers in their folder. When everything has a place, it's easier to see what you truly use and what's just taking up space. This simple organization system made my cleaning sessions faster and my home more peaceful. The biggest lesson: be honest with yourself. Are you really going to fix that charger? Will you ever use that torn towel again? Most of the time, the answer is no. The more I learned to accept that, the lighter my space and my mind became. Now I keep only what serves a purpose or sparks calmness. My drawers breathe again, my shelves feel lighter, and so do I. Decluttering isn't about perfection. It's about creating a home that supports who you are today, not who you used to be. After releasing the small random items, you may notice something deeper: the clutter that carries pieces of your past. It often lives in our closets and old papers, quietly reminding us of who we used to be. So next, let's tackle one of the most emotional decluttering zones: clothes and documents. Now this one can be emotional. We're moving on to decluttering clothes and documents. Now let's talk about sorting through two categories that quietly reflect different versions of ourselves. There's something strangely emotional about sorting through clothes and papers, two categories that quietly reflect different versions of ourselves. One weekend, I opened my closet and found outfits that once made me feel confident, but now just hung there untouched for years. Then, while organizing my desk, I discovered piles of old notes, bills, and imprinted documents I hadn't looked at in months. It hit me, both my wardrobe and my paperwork were full of the past, me, not the person I am now. I began with my clothes. I took every item out, held each one, and asked myself a simple question. Would I wear this tomorrow? If the answer was no, it went into the donation pile. Some pieces held memories: a dress from a special trip, a blouse I wore to my first interview, but I realized I didn't need to keep every reminder of my past to honor it. Letting them go felt like making room for the present version of myself. My closet became lighter, and surprisingly, so did my heart. Next came the papers, a category many of us avoid. I used to keep every note just in case, but most of them had already served their purpose. Bills from years ago, faded receipts, old lecture notes, and documents I'd already scanned were quietly taking up space. After sorting them into keep, scan, and discard, my desk finally looked calm and open. Now I keep only what truly matters: current work documents, important records, and a small notebook for ideas. Through this process, I learned that tidiness isn't just about appearance, it's mental clarity. Every time I open my wardrobe or sit at my desk, now I feel an immediate sense of order and focus. I no longer waste time searching for things or feeling guilty about the clutter. Instead, my home and my mind feel aligned, light, and ready for what's next. Once you've sorted through what you wear and what you keep on paper, it's time to take a more intentional look at your wardrobe. Because the truth is, what hangs in your closet should tell the story of who you are today, not who you used to be or who you think you should become. Let's get intentional with our storage. We are focusing on our closets next. Now let's talk about decluttering your wardrobe with intention and creating breathing room. I've always believed that our closets are silent storytellers. They hold the history of who we've been, the hopes of who we might become, and sometimes the clutter of indecision in between. One morning, as sunlight poured through my bedroom window, I opened my wardrobe and felt instantly overwhelmed. Clothes were packed so tightly that even choosing an outfit felt exhausting. That's when I realized it wasn't just my closet that needed space, it was me. I began by taking everything out, creating 3 piles: keep, donate, and let go. At first it felt daunting, so many what-if outfits I'd been holding on to. The jeans I swore I'd fit into, again, the fancy blouse I never actually wore, the cardigan I kept because it was a gift. But as I touched each piece, I reminded myself my wardrobe should serve my present life, not my past or my imagined future. Letting go of what no longer fit my body or lifestyle became surprisingly freeing. Once I pared down, I made it a rule to keep at least 30% of the space empty. That breathing room instantly made everything look more open and inviting. I started folding clothes by category, tops together, pants together, sleepwear in one drawer, and found that maintaining order became effortless. I no longer had to dig through piles or feel frustrated trying to find things. What surprised me most wasn't just the neatness, but the calm that came with it. Every time I open my closet now, I feel a quiet sense of ease. It's not crammed with someday clothes. It's filled with pieces that reflect who I am today. Keeping less doesn't mean lacking. It means creating space for clarity, comfort, and the next chapter of your life. So if your storage areas feel heavy and chaotic, start small, one shelf, one drawer at a time. Make room not just for new clothes, but for peace, simplicity, and yourself. With your wardrobe refreshed, you'll start to feel lighter, but don't stop there. Some of the most powerful transformations come from the smallest spaces. Let's open those drawers and discover how even tiny corners can hold the key to calm and order. This is where the real digging begins. We're diving into the emotional side of clutter. Now let's talk about releasing what no longer serves you physically and emotionally. There's something oddly powerful about clearing out the small stuff, the drawer full of forgotten pens, tangled hair ties, or that dull kitchen knife you keep meaning to sharpen someday. These little things may seem harmless, but over time they quietly build up into clutter that weighs on your space and your mind. I still remember opening a drawer one evening to look for scissors and realizing I could barely close it anymore. Inside were dried out markers, broken clips, old notebooks from years ago, tiny pieces of my daily life that no longer served any purpose. That night, I made a decision to face what I call the drawer of denial. One by one, I took everything out and asked myself a simple question. If I needed this today, would I actually choose to use it? Most of the time, the honest answer was no. The pen that no longer writes the notebook half filled with random notes, the rusty kitchen tool, all of them had stayed out of habit, not usefulness. Letting them go felt surprisingly freeing. What I learned is that clutter doesn't always come from big, obvious items. Often it hides in plain sight disguised as might-needed objects. Once I got rid of those, not only did my drawers and shelves feel lighter, but I also found myself more focused and calm. Every remaining item had a clear purpose and a defined spot, making daily routines smoother and less stressful. Now I do this little ritual every few months. I grab a small basket walk around the house and collect anything broken, unused, or expired. It takes less than 15 minutes, but always leaves me with a refreshing sense of order. The beauty of this practice is that it reminds me keeping less means thinking less, less searching, less cleaning, less mental noise. As you move through your home, you might realize that clutter isn't always visible. Some of it hides deep in forgotten corners, under beds, or behind doors. Let's go there next and talk about how to release what no longer serves you both physically and emotionally. Now let's talk about letting go of half-empty things and establishing habits to maintain a tidy home. It's funny how the things we don't see often have the strongest hold on us. Hidden under the bed, tucked behind the closet door, or forgotten in the trunk of a car, these spaces quietly collect the weight of our past. Souvenirs from old trips, gifts we never used, or sentimental items we're too polite to part with. They all sit there gathering dust, silently cluttering not just our homes, but also our hearts. I remember one weekend when I decided to pull everything out from under my bed. I thought I'd find maybe a few boxes, but instead I uncovered a small time capsule, unused candles, unopened mugs from friends, and even a gift set I didn't remember owning. Each item had once meant something, but now they simply took up space. As I sat surrounded by these forgotten objects, I realized I wasn't just cleaning. I was confronting the emotional clutter I had been avoiding. One of the hardest things to accept is that we don't owe every gift a permanent place in our homes. A present fulfills its purpose the moment it makes you feel loved. You don't need to keep the object to keep the feeling. Once I understood that letting go became easier, I began to keep only the gifts that truly fit my lifestyle or brought me joy, and I released the rest with gratitude. Now I make it a habit to check my hidden zones every 2 months under the bed in storage bins, even inside my car. It's incredible how much peace comes from simply knowing what you own and where it is. Those forgotten corners are no longer sources of stress, but spaces I can actually breathe in. Decluttering isn't just about making room for new things, it's about honoring what matters and freeing yourself from the quiet weight of what doesn't. The love, the memories, the meaning, those stay with you even after the items are gone. Once you've faced the sentimental side of decluttering, the next step is surprisingly simple, dealing with the half-empty, almost forgotten items we keep out of habit. These may seem small, but letting them go can make an unexpectedly big difference. Now we're moving on to a surprisingly simple but powerful task. We'll learn about the freedom that comes with letting go of half-empty things. Those almost empty spray bottles, cracked phone cases, plastic containers missing their lids. We tell ourselves we'll deal with them later, but somehow later never comes. Over time, these tiny, insignificant things quietly multiply until one day you open a drawer and realize it's full of items you neither use nor need. That's when you know it's time to take action. I used to be that person who saved everything, a broken hair clip, just in case, or an old handbag for emergencies. But the truth is, those just-in-case items rarely come in handy. Instead, they weigh you down. One weekend, I decided to tackle this hidden clutter, starting small: the kitchen drawers, the wardrobe, and under the sink. I found expired spice jars, torn shopping bags I thought I'd reuse, and even a burnt-out light bulb I forgot to throw away. Each discarded item made me feel lighter, as if my home could finally breathe again. There's something powerful about letting go of things that no longer serve a purpose. It's not about being wasteful, it's about making room for clarity and peace. The fewer objects you own, the faster you can clean, and the easier it becomes to maintain order. It's not just physical space you're freeing up, it's mental space too. When your home feels open and manageable, your thoughts follow suit. Here's a tip that completely changed how I declutter if something is waiting to be useful. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time I actually needed this? If you can't remember, it's time to let it go. A half-empty bottle or a warped plastic lid, it won't suddenly become useful one day. Your home deserves better, and so do you. Now, my goal isn't perfection, but practicality. I'd rather have a small number of items I actually use than drawers full of things that slow me down. The more I release, the easier it is to clean, move, and simply enjoy being at home. After all that hard work, your home feels open, peaceful, and renewed. But here's the real challenge: keeping it that way. In this final part, I'll share how to maintain a tidy, calm home without perfection, just simple habits that make order effortless. After all that hard work, your home feels open, peaceful, and renewed. But here's the real challenge: keeping it that way. Now we'll talk about the simple, non-perfect ways to maintain a tidy home. You know what I've realized after years of tidying and organizing? The real challenge isn't cleaning your home once it's keeping the clutter from creeping back in. No matter how beautiful your space looks after a big decluttering session, if you don't create small habits, chaos will quietly return. I've learned this the hard way many times over. Let's start with the obvious culprits. Empty bottles and half-used containers. Somehow they always manage to multiply under the sink or in the bathroom corner. The same goes for recyclables, boxes, jars, or glass bottles you tell yourself you'll reuse one day. Spoiler, that one day rarely comes. Then there are duplicates, 3 pairs of scissors, 4 spatulas, or a dozen pens that no longer work. Each one seems harmless, but together they take up precious space and mental energy. And books and magazines, they hold sentimental value, don't they? I used to keep stacks of unread issues thinking I'd read them someday, but all they did was gather dust. The truth is, keeping items out of guilt or wishful thinking doesn't serve you. It only clutters both your home and your mind. One trick that changed my life is what I call the 10-minute check. Every week, I dedicate just 10 minutes to reviewing one small area, a drawer, a corner, or a shelf. It's short enough not to feel like a chore, but powerful enough to keep messes under control. This habit prevents buildup and keeps cleaning manageable. Here's the comforting truth: a clean home doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. Perfection creates pressure. Routine creates peace. Don't aim for spotless, aim for steady. Keep what you love, let go of what weighs you down, and enjoy the freedom that comes with living simply. Over time, these small, mindful choices become the invisible thread that holds a calm, balanced home together. So those were the main groups of items: the countless bottles broken, things, duplicates, and forgotten clutter that quietly fill our homes and steal our peace. By learning how to let them go or handle them wisely, we make our spaces lighter, our routines smoother, and our homes more open and breathable. Decluttering doesn't have to be stressful. When you do it with intention, it becomes an act of self-care and calm. If you've been feeling overwhelmed or short on time and want to make your cleaning sessions easier and more effective, try applying the small steps I shared today. You'll be surprised how freeing it feels to finally deal with those space-stealing items that no longer serve you. And if you're ready for a fun challenge, don't miss my next video, the 1-hour declutter challenge. How many items can you let go of in just 60 minutes? It's a fast, motivating experiment that might inspire your own fresh start. Trust me, it's one you shouldn't skip. It's full of simple ideas that can truly transform your home and mindset. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe, because you deserve a home that feels lighter, calmer, and more joyful every single day.